Go now. Hello, Vernon. Oh, that was just perfect timing. Um, Almost like you know what you're doing. I'm going to share this right quick. Let me share. Let me share. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I am very well. How about you? You said so far so good. The day is almost over. You got a long night ahead of you. Oh gosh. Well, I think I'm gonna have me a big old bowl of watermelon and watch a cooking show or something. You know, I still don't have a TV. You know, the funniest show we had. I guess the funniest thing you said of all the shows that we've done was when you said we were talking about, do you have a TV in your bedroom? And you and you said, yeah, two. Oh my God, I thought I was going to lose it. That was the funniest thing I ever heard of. Oh, Lord. Oh my, hey, well, you know what? That just goes to show you just have to do what works in your relationship. You know,
Yep, yep.
there's no cookie cutter relationship. What works for you works for
Works for
you.
you. All right.
I like that. And that leads right into our topic tonight
What's our topic
on
tonight?
what a man wants.
Ooh, man don't want nothing but only thing a man wants from a woman is to be loved. The vendor. It's the only thing he wants. He won't say to woman. He just wants to be loved. That's all.
Well, that's all women want.
Yep.
But I don't believe what you're saying.
You
I
don't.
guess
Why don't you believe that? I don't understand. Why don't you believe that?
I guess it's how you show him love, and I guess that has to be through his love language, which most men, the love language is physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
Men, it's like medicine for a man. They have to have that physical touch. They want to be loved
Mm-hmm.
physically. They want to be. They want you to initiate. They want you to want them. They want to be wanted. You know, that is so important for a man. And if a woman does not understand that, it could be detrimental to their relationship.
Well, but just like I told you, now men is not too far what from a
Different than a woman.
woman,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
um I would bet you. I'm trying to put the topic on my end. What a man wants. What a man wants, right? MAT, want or wants.
Wants. What a man wants. I have
WANT.
what men want. Yeah.
Wants with an S. What
What a
men? Oh,
man
what
wants.
men want. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
you got it.
Yeah.
You got it grammatically correct. I's the only one that don't know
Oh
how to.
Lord.
No. I'm the only one that have no grammar. Okay. Um. But any rate, yeah, that's what a man wants. Now, I which women are really hard for them to believe, but it is really true that I think most men. I think you said I talk out of both sides of my mouth, and I do. But what do you think I say what men want? You hear me all the time,
Sex.
huh?
Sex.
Sex, right? Okay, that would they, but we talking about in a true relationship, right?
Yeah.
In a true relationship, he wants to be loved. Okay, now if
Yeah.
it's not a true relationship, then you're absolutely right. Okay, if
Ooh.
it's not a true relationship, he wants sex.
What is a true relationship?
Well, I guess is what he's looking for, Lavender. What I call a true relationship is love. Okay, right? Love. And when a man finds out the woman he really wants, and that's really what he is actually looking for. Okay,
Love.
is love. But I want, and if you heard me say this once, and I know you probably not disagree with it, but I told you about when a man find that person that he wants, he treats her a little different than he treats the mainstream. Okay,
Yeah.
and so you know, and like I told you a lot of times, you can hear men. I can tell that every time when a man is really into his woman and love his woman, now he won't talk about her, he won't joke about her or anything. Had it been a woman that you hear him joking about, talking about, you know he ain't too
Uh-huh.
serious about her. Okay,
Really? So
yeah,
he's protecting his woman.
he protecting his, yeah, exactly right, exactly right. So
Really?
that's the first sign that you see if he talks, if he real protected of her or talk kind about her, then you know he must care something about her. Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
From a man's perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the woman would probably think that he doesn't want to talk about her. She would probably ask, am I a secret? You know, that's just how a woman's going to think that. Do you ever talk to me about your friends? Do you ever mention me? Does your family know about me?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to think completely the opposite.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so sad, but that's that whole women are from Mars, men are from Venus. Is that it?
Well, yeah. That's a part of it. It's meant cause, but that just that's just who we are, and that's why I don't
Yeah.
think women really understands a man. Okay,
Right.
he
Right.
really doesn't she really doesn't understand a man because men are complicated. I say that in one breath, Lavender. I say that men are complicated, but then when you read my book, I talk about how simple men are. Okay, and
Yeah.
and we are,
Almost predictable.
yeah, and we
Oh,
are in many ways.
yeah.
So what I think though is that, let me ask you this: you did a lot of for your magazine, right? For your magazine, the Other Woman magazine, you did a survey about what men want, and then you wrote about it.
Right.
Tell me, let's
Right.
talk about what you found in your survey of men and asking men what they want. Let's talk about it, and then I'm going to comment on it. Okay?
Okay. Well, I asked several men, different backgrounds, different races, different age groups,
Mm-hmm.
um, what they wanted. It says several men of different ethnicities and various ages were asked to share what they
Mm-hmm.
want in a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to read the variety of answers, which lets us know all men don't think alike. However, there was one common denominator that they all mentioned, um, and it was sex. Some mentioned it in the beginning, some mentioned it at the end, and some of them just wrote a little paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them wrote a few sentences. You were one of them. You probably don't even remember what you said. You probably don't even
I probably don't.
remember what you
What did that?
said.
That's been a good while. What did I say? Sex.
I don't have, of course, yours mentioned sex, but most of them do. One wanted respect.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I think when she truly respects him, much flows from that.
Mm-hmm.
Laughter, fun, partnership. Now, that was the only one that didn't mention sex. Um, but he says much flows from that, the respect part.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? One said, to be my peace, not my problem, to be my help, not a hindrance to my growth.
Mm-hmm.
One said, patience, companionship, sexual intimacy, and loyalty. Another one is sex, oral sex, honesty, loyalty, trust, support, and to be pure. That one kind of sounds like you. But they all they all say something here. I'm gonna read one more. To feel admired and appreciated for working hard and being a provider.
Mm-hmm.
For a man not to be acknowledged in this way is a slippery slope to resenting his woman and a short-lived relationship.
Mm.
Yeah, to be acknowledged. You know, and this for those. This was all in the Other Woman magazine, but there was a another article in here. It was about the threshold, how a man wants to be acknowledged when he crosses the threshold at certain things that he looks for at in the home and from his woman. And a lot of women don't know that. You know, they want to be acknowledged for their hard work, being a provider, regardless of what they did all day, working. Men want to come home to a hot meal. They want to come home to a loving home. You know, they don't want to deal with a bunch of nagging, a bunch of complaining, and just pure D hell. They probably dealt with all that crap at work and during the day. So when he comes home, he wants to have some peace of mind. What is that? A man's home is his castle? That's what they say. That's right. That's what they say. Yeah. So it's very few men. I mean, life happens. Life happens. And that woman has had a day also. But it doesn't minimize the fact of what a man wants. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Uh huh. Who? Oh, mama. Yeah. Yes. Is their mama?
I lose my audio sometime on this thing on my side of it. But anyway, they that's what a woman need to know when you from Mars. Okay, women are from Mars, right? And
Yeah.
men are from
Men are
Venus,
from
right? When you
Venus. Yeah.
they sizing you up because guess what? What the first woman he ever loved is
His
who? His
mother.
mother, right? And
He
so,
bonded with her for
right,
9 months before he saw anybody else.
exactly right. And so, mama and it represents everything. So, the test for most women is that men are actually in terms of a long-term relationship or a wife. They're looking for traits of his mama in those women. They're
Hmm.
being tested
Hmm.
against mama. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to preference that with the 80-20 rule. Okay, so it's some circumstances are different, but I would say 80% of them. And it's the same kind of scenario that I see in that what women go through the same kind of things when they look for in a
Yeah.
man. They always
Their
look for
daddy.
daddy in a man.
Yeah.
Now, and I don't care how insignificant or significant or great or not so great daddy being in their lives, they still tend to seek that 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 daddy in these relationships. Okay,
Yeah.
and if you
Yeah.
read a lot about when I was doing my book, I did a lot of research on women, and I often wondered why women be subjected to men, and why women let men control them, and why where
Hmm.
women, this whole thing about sex working and prostitution and all the other kinds of stuff. A lot of it has its origins and roots into the women seeking the man, the daddy in there. Okay, and then men know that, and that's why they play on women's weakness. That's why a lot of men. You still can't hear me? Can you hear me? Acknowledge me if you can hear me. Lavender, Venda, Venda. You can't. She can't hear me. I can hear her. Okay, I can't hear you, Lavender. Talk to me. Talk. Okay. I don't know what happened, Lavender, on your audio. Uh, I lost Lavender's audio.
Can you hear me, Vernon?
I can hear you now, Lavender. What happened?
Okay. I'm just gonna take my mic out. I might have an echo, but it's okay. So that's like daddy issues,
Uh huh.
Vernon. How a child, young girl grows up seeing how her father treated her mother, or how he treated her, or how he interacted with other women, whether he had relationships with them or not. That's the basis for a lot of how of the choices we make with men, not even thinking psychologically that it has impacted your choices.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
know.
that. Yeah.
That's why it's so critically important that when you're raising your daughters and you're raising your children, basically, what children do is they imprint, okay? And what they
Yeah.
see in the homes, and sometimes, Lavin, like I say, you're different to my 80-20 rule. That's why this generational um, abuse happens, okay? Because
Yeah.
sometimes the children see daddy treat mama a certain way, okay? Then the boys think that's the way you're supposed to treat women. And the girls think the same thing. That's the way women should be treated because that's
Yeah.
what they see mama and daddy doing. So sometimes it's hard
Right.
to break that cycle
It
of
is.
abuse
Children
because
live what they learn.
they live what they learn. They learn that they've been imprinted in that, and sometimes it's beyond their control because that's what they see and that's what they think that should happen because they don't see any other models anywhere else. And
Yeah.
but that's why it's so important to educate folks, okay? And because they know that's wrong. If you've been taught wrong all your life and nobody ever told you it was wrong, then you think wrong is right. Okay?
You are so right about it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's also good to know something about your, before you say I do, to know something about that person's childhood, their upbringing, their family, meet the parents.
Yeah.
If it's a male, look at get to know them, talk to them. Same for the female. And shit, they end up looking like them too, as they age.
Well, Lavender, but you would think that we would do that, right? And this has
You would
nothing to do
think
with
that.
how smart you are, how intelligent you are, or how savvy
Yeah,
you are.
yeah,
When a love bug's bite, okay, it injects a ignorant fluid into you, I guess. Because when love overpowers everything else, it makes you sometimes it makes you blind to the obvious truth.
yeah.
Why is that?
It does. It does. Well, I think you answered the question because it is like a drug. Love is like a drug, and you are mentally impaired.
Yeah, yeah,
You are impaired, and your judgment is off.
yeah.
Um, and you don't realize it. You think you're thinking coherently, but um,
Uh,
love is powerful,
it
and you
is.
don't even realize it.
And what people don't realize is that love is not from the heart. Love is from
Hmm.
the head. Okay.
From the head,
Yeah.
exactly.
And the research we done, you did the same kind of research on. I didn't realize about the endorphins and whatever they call it. It's
Yeah,
as physically as
yeah,
addicted as any
it sure
drug that you
is.
can take. It's a psycho. I guess is it fair to say it's a psychological drug? Got to be psychological. There's nothing physical you take like you can take cocaine or smoke marijuana. It has the same kind of effect as that because in the in another part of your brain, in that part of your brain,
Right,
it just
right.
love
And it
intoxicates you.
feels so good. It
It could
feels so good. I mean, love will
until
make you feel like you can conquer the world, like you can climb Mount Everest. But the ironic thing about that feeling,
uh-huh.
you are so high, you are gonna come off of that high eventually.
Well, it might be too
You're
late.
gonna come off of the high, huh?
Might be too late.
Exactly. Exactly. I got a friend now that, oh Lord, this woman is so high on love. Um, and she's involved in it's something crazy, but she can't see it. Everybody else can see it except her. And even men, I got a few male friends that truly believe that the women that they are with love them for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Women will endure a relationship she doesn't really want for
Mm-hmm.
financial reasons. Um, she will deal with, for many reasons, business if he's invested in her business and she don't want to mess up a good thing. It's so many reasons. And like you said at the beginning, men and women, we aren't too much different. Men use women, women use men. But also, men just want to be loved. That's what men want.
Yeah.
And I think they search for that admiration. They want to be admired. They want to be acknowledged. Um, yeah, but when you're high on love, it's a wrap.
Have you seen that show? I know you say you ain't got a TV, but have you seen that show, For My Man or something like that? It's I don't know. It's come on one of black network called For My Man, but it's a crime show where these women, innocent, perfect, innocent, nothing wrong with them, but they just in love, and they do some of the damnedest things as far as even go as far as killing people for their man or protecting their man. And and otherwise there would be a Sunday school teacher, just like my story I tell in my book about Bonnie and Clyde. Okay, and Bonnie was a Sunday school teacher, right? Until Clyde, and she was a married Sunday school teacher on top of all of that, right? Bonnie came into her life, okay, and the rest is history, okay? The rest is history. So
Clyde came into her life.
Clyde came into Bonnie's life. Okay, yeah, correct me. So I told you when you get old, don't ever get old because you don't get your facts straight, okay? But yeah, Clyde came into Bonnie's life, and Bonnie was never the same, okay? Under the guise of that drug that she took from him was called love. That love drug. That love drug. It's a power. You know what? I think it's the most second powerful thing on planet Earth. The second powerful thing. You know what the first powerful thing is, don't you?
Sex. Or money.
Sex. Money probably third. And that's where I rank. I said sex, love, and money is probably the top three powerful things on planet Earth. Okay? And I'm saying they're leading off with sex. But a lot of those things, in particular, just to give credit to love, love is sometimes beyond your control. Okay? Well, sex, you got a little bit control over sex and money, but you have very little control over love. How do you, when you're infected with the love drug, with the love infection, okay, how do you treat it? Okay? Just think about it. When you fall in love, you get a heartbreak, okay? And what gonna ease that heartbreak? There ain't no medicine you can take to
time.
Ain't nothing but time. And that could heal that. And it may not ever heal it. It just might treat it over a period of time, and not until that person comes back into your life, and then you get reinfected all over again. Okay.
Or if you come off that high and you realize that's not what you wanted anyway.
I know, but
when
coming
you come
off
to your senses.
I hear you, but coming off that high is it sometimes it's really tough to come off that high. Okay, but that's a good question though, Lavender. How do one come off that high though? You right? Sometimes
don't take the drug. Just stay away from the drug. Just say no.
Well, you can't fall. You cannot determine who you fall in love with, right?
You can't help who you fall in love with.
Right.
You can't help.
But how do you manage it? You can't control it, but I got a saying that I got from Leroy Boyd a long time ago. Leroy Boyd just always say, and I have to credit him for this because he's the first person I ever heard say this. I know he didn't invent it, but he always used to use it, and I thought it was a good term. He said, I can't be controlled. I can be managed, but I cannot be controlled. Well, love can be managed, but it cannot be controlled, okay? And so you got to learn how to manage your love. Even though you fall in love, then you have to be able to manage it, because so you can keep things in the road, because otherwise it'll fall off. You
Well,
get
you
off
know
course.
what?
What?
Just like we equate love with drugs, you get the same feeling
Mm-hmm.
that drugs will give you. After you have been on drugs for a while, say
Mm-hmm.
you go to rehab, and you realize, okay, I recognize that, and I know it's not good for me, but I want it. So that's another thing that we do when we love. We choose people, well, we say you can't choose who you fall in love with, but we end up with people that are not good for us
Right.
because we feel like we're in love. We've been deceived by love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can help it, but as you experience love over and over, which I think is crazy, I don't know, Vernon. How many times can you freaking fall in love? It's like,
Well, you can fall in love. You can fall in love for many times, but
well, if
again,
you
it's
believe in a soulmate, you got more than one soulmate. And if love is supposed to be forever, till death do you part, if you believe in that,
I don't believe that. I don't
how
believe
do you?
that. I don't believe. You know, I think that's kind of a myth. Just like they saying you
Yeah,
can't be in love with more than one person. All of that's just a myth. That's just what people say. But the facts don't bear that out, Lavender. Facts just don't bear that out. So I know with the,
what are
the
the
only
facts?
the only thing that you can do, like I say with love, you gotta have to just kind of try to manage it, because love is here, not here in your heart. Love is
It's
here
it.
in your head.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and how you manage and control that portion of your brain is what's important. Okay, and some people can do it better than others. Okay,
I'm good at it.
you good at? You think so? I don't think so.
Oh, oh yeah.
You,
Oh yeah. I just stay away from it.
okay, well, you treat drugs like I treat cocaine. You know what I told you about cocaine, didn't it?
What?
You know what they say about coke, right? I don't know, but I'm just telling you what I heard that they say about it. They say, and then the reason that people, and it's very simplistic explanation, but they say the reason that people get addicted to coke is because their first high on coke is better than the best high they ever had, and
Right.
they always
They
try
always
to
try to attain that.
try to attain that high again, and they can never attain it, but they keep trying to keep trying to keep trying, and then they get addicted, and then they can't help it. Then by the time they do that, well, I treat that just like cocaine. Things that I can't control or manage. Let me put that. A lot of things you can't. Things I manage, I'm like you. I just stay away from it. I
Yeah.
ain't no way that I would take knowing that fact.
Yeah.
I would be an addict. Okay, the same thing with love. Okay, if love and an orgasm was the same thing, I wouldn't. You'll be an addict about it. So I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You got to be able to manage.
The same with sex too,
Yep.
Vernon. It's like men have this insatiable, however you say it. They're never satisfied when it comes to sex. They just more sex,
But
sex, different women. You know, it's
but
like
Lavender, we had this.
they can't
We didn't had this
control it.
discussion many times. Okay,
Huh?
we didn't had this discussion many times. It's a nature thing. Okay, that that again, it is something men must measure. I mean, must manage. Because it's beyond their control. They must manage that. Cause we're no, like I said, man is no different from animals. Okay,
The
and
desire is beyond their control.
so what now?
The desire for sex. is beyond their control.
Okay.
You got to take responsibility.
Okay.
You got to have
Well, I
some
know
kind of.
that's what I'm saying now, and that's the only thing is that that's when you can manage it. But
Yeah,
to blame a man for wanting sex, I think is unfair because I think nature takes its course. Okay,
I
you see
agree.
men die and country wars been fought and everything over sex. And
I
if you look
agree.
out out in the wild, the same thing. You know, they
Yeah,
fight to the death over sex, and they fight for the right to mate and all that other kinds of stuff. So
yeah,
it's kind of a natural thing by nature that
right.
men want that. You know, again,
Yeah,
but again, you got everybody got different degrees. Some want it, everything. You know, with my 80-20 rule, I also got that bell curve rule, okay? But everything is on a bell curve, okay?
yeah,
The norm is in the middle, and the extremes on both sides, okay? And so, and it depends on where you are. If you're in the extreme on the left side of that extreme bad side, or you're on the right side, which on the extreme is the good side, or you somewhere in the middle with everybody else. And so,
right.
again, we have to be able to manage that. And if you know where you
Yeah,
are in those on that spectrum, and then you know how to manage it. If you know you're on the far right of that spectrum, then you need to know how to manage it. If you're on the far left of that spectrum, you need to know how to manage it. Or if you're in the middle, you need to know how to manage it. But it don't take as much management because what's in the middle is more normal than what's on both extremes, right?
extremes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I don't want to be a fool. When you are high, you can do some foolish stuff.
well, you think that's
Foolish.
well, but that's a good question. Now, that is a good question. Okay, is it really when you're on a high? Are you really a fool?
Okay, maybe I used the wrong word. You do some things that you probably wouldn't normally do. You have more courage. You
Right?
have more, and some people say it's your true self.
Well,
Your
my
true self. You're able to be. You find the freedom to be who you want to be. You just feel. I don't know. I can't explain it. I got high one time. Well, maybe two times, trying to, maybe three times, trying.
keep on, keep on. You get to the
No,
real truth in a minute. Okay,
I
all the time.
know. I'm trying to, because it didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything for me.
Well,
And I think the
like what?
first,
Like drinking or smoking marijuana or what?
smoking marijuana,
Okay. Yeah.
trying to feel. It was on my bucket list. As
Yeah.
crazy as that sounds, I just wanted to see
See.
what it was.
Right.
I wanted to see what it was, and it just didn't do anything for me. And thank God, because I could have become addicted to it.
Yeah. I don't.
And I just wanted to try. Let me try it again. Let me fit. It just, I could never find that right, whatever it's called. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm the same way. I have never tried hard drugs because I know that probably will lead there. But I purposely tried marijuana and more than one time. But I too like you. I never seen that it did anything for me. I tried drinking, it didn't do anything for me. Tried smoking, it didn't do anything for me. That stuff like that. It's just, and I'm glad, man.
And
I look at God taking care of babies and food with that in that respect. But go ahead.
and you know what? I know a few writers who say, I'm like, how did you come up with that? And two of them quickly. She's like, girl, get you some gummies. It enhances your creativity.
Hmm.
I'm like, well, dang, I got to get high to be creative, but everybody's system, everybody's makeup is different,
Right.
And I think that's what I was looking for, just like love. I was looking for that right balance where I could be more creative,
Hmm.
yet be myself and not act out of character. But the same with love, going back to love being a drug, you do some things that are out of character, especially, well, I'm not going to say especially women. Men do some crazy stuff too.
Absolutely.
When they are just wound up and got this particular female in their head, they just do some crazy things. Crazy things. It's actually funny to watch when it's not you. But when it's you, it's like, okay, you need to sit down somewhere. You need to get yourself together. You need to pull it back in, reel it back in. Love is funny. It's a beautiful thing. And I remember you telling me one time, Vernon, that I like the idea of love. I just don't want to be in love. I love the idea of love. I really, really do. I don't know. Maybe if I had experienced love before or truly felt what love is and felt loved, I would probably feel differently than I do now. My thoughts would be different.
You know, people sometimes they don't subscribe to the concept or the idea that love is a drug, but love has the same effect as any drug. You just think about it. You go through withdrawals when you're trying to fall out of love, right?
Yeah.
You go through those same kind of withdrawal symptoms. It's a dependency, really. It is a dependency, and you don't.
Yeah.
You won't. I don't know. Love is something else. That's why people get in the predicament they're in sometimes, and then and sometimes you can't tell people they're in love or they can't see the forest from the trees because it's just something else.
And you know what? Even when it comes to sex, I remember you telling me we were talking about a particular somebody when we were at the radio station, and you were like, "What is it about that person?"
Yeah.
And I was telling you how I felt when I was with that person, and you said, "It's not the sex; it's the person."
Yeah.
You know, and that's really powerful when you think about it, because it doesn't matter if you're in love with, if you think you love someone, that person's physical attributes mean very little, even for a man.
Now, do you actually believe that?
I do.
Okay, see now, can I call you down on something? Like I told you, when you talk back out of both sides of your mouth, right?
Go ahead.
All right, now, what your idea of a man is one thing, right? Or you want Mr. America, you want Mr. Universe.
You put that in my.
You do.
Said that, Vernon. I have never said that. I do not want Mr. America.
You want a bookworm. I mean, you want you don't have to say it. It shows all over you. You want a Mr. America with an Einstein brain. Okay?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. You say that. You think that's what I want. That's not what I want.
Okay, now let's flip the script here. What do Lavender want?
I like intelligence. I just want a buddy. I just want somebody to have a good time with, somebody that I can talk. I love deep conversations. I love to talk.
But if he looks if he round as the basketball, you won't. But he got a brain of Einstein. He never get that opportunity to show you that side of him, Lavender.
Yes, he would. I have, yes. Vernon, I haven't always been.
Turn your volume up a little bit. I can hear you a little bit better. Can you turn your volume up a little bit?
My volume?
Yeah.
You want my voice?
No, I'm just because I know you took your mic off. I can hear you a little bit better, but when you get old, you can't hardly hear anyway. But anyway, I hear you on one side, but on the other side, that brain has to come with some other attributes.
Well, it goes back to what we just said. You can't control who you fall in love with. I don't think we know what we really want. You know what I'm saying? You think you know what you want, but I don't know if I've ever had a type. I've always said tall, dark, and handsome. You know, my father was
And rich.
tall, dark, and handsome. Going back to what we said earlier is that you're looking for your father. But he's got to be tall. I don't pick tall just because I like tall men. I'm tall and I don't want to be with a short man. I
How
don't want to
come?
look down. I want, you know,
But
so
you can.
tall is just because of my height. I don't think I would be physically attracted enough to a shorter man to just be free to be me around him. I would always be concerned about my height, not his, me being taller. And the dark part, I don't know, it's my father. But I hadn't even considered going out of my race. So I don't think skin color has anything to do with it.
Lavender, how can you sit there and say that now? Okay, I hear you. Now I don't have to call you down. Now, okay.
Go
Now
ahead.
you saying that you don't consider going out of your race. That be true, but race and color no different. You like darker men, right? So, but you won't. How many light skinned men you ever dated in your life?
I haven't really dated, Vernon.
Okay, that's my point. That's my point.
I haven't
It,
really dated, but I have been attracted to some not light skinned men, but not they weren't dark. But when I was in Italy, Italians, there were Italians that I was attracted to. Not that I wanted to be with them, but I don't think it's a color thing. It's just I've been conditioned to believe that's what I want. But you don't really know what you want until that person comes along. It could be a friend, and you fall in love with them.
I know that,
Tall,
but
dark, and handsome just sounds good.
oh, I know that. I know that's just a euphemism that people use to say all the
Yeah,
time. But
yeah,
again, going back to you said earlier, you can't control who you fall in love with. But
right.
again, how everybody got certain preconceived ideas about what love is and what they want into love, okay?
And we
And
don't know what it
and when you
is.
walk into that room, right, and you look around that room, you're gonna be always somebody in that room that you're gonna be more attracted to than everybody else in that room. And I challenge everybody to that whole scenario. Okay? Look in that room. When you look around that room, you're gonna be that one person gonna gain your attention over
Yeah,
everybody else. Why is that,
yeah.
Lavender? What?
That's energy. That's energy. You know, it's funny you brought that up because I've been thinking recently for the past week, I've been recalling a certain situation that happened when I was in high school. Going to the football games, I always sat with my father in the reserve seats. I never sat with the pep club or the student body. I never sat there.
Mm-hmm.
I sat with my father in reserve seats for every football game. And I remember looking back, I felt somebody watching. I just felt, you know how you feel like somebody
Mm-hmm.
watching, or you just want, I turned around and this person was looking dead in my face. We didn't say a word. We just looked at each other till it got uncomfortable for me and I just turned around. You know, it's just, and I don't know if that person remembers that moment or not, but out of everybody in that stadium, he was right there. Wasn't in reserve seats, he was outside,
Mm-hmm.
but he was looking down. And when I turned around, we looked at each other. We were just looking at it. It was just the weirdest
So
thing.
y'all had a moment.
I think we had a moment. I think I had a moment. I
You
don't
didn't,
know if
you
you
didn't
had a
meet under
moment,
the
but I had
bleachers.
a moment.
Did y'all meet under the bleachers and tested it?
Again, I went to the football games with my father, so the answer to that question would be a no. But it is something how that energy, you're like magnets, you just draw to one another. But you can see men, you can see women, I can see men all day long and not feel nothing. You could go years and not feel anything. But then one day you feel a connection
Somebody. Yep.
to somebody.
Somebody.
That blows my mind. So it's like that's why women shouldn't look. Don't go looking for a man. Love will find you. I mean, you can't sit in the house all the time. Well, maybe you could. If you either believe in it or you don't. Because you can find somebody at the gas station. It seems like that's where I meet more men is at the doggone gas station pumping gas. You know, just having conversation, not saying that they're trying to pick me up or anything. Just they just start talking. I don't know.
Maybe it's on your end, Lavenda. Maybe it's a psychological thing on your end that is something about the gas station and pumping and stuff like that makes you.
Because I hate pumping my gas.
Yeah,
I hate putting air in
pumping.
my tires.
It might be you have something else on your mind instead of pumping gas. You know, maybe it's in you, but that's why you see them more at the gas station than you do at the grocery store. You know.
I'm very observant at the gas station. I'm always looking, just being a single woman for safety purposes. I'm very observant. I don't get gas at night, even in the daytime. You know, just having my back to the pump, I'm always looking around. You never know. You just don't know. I just have to always be on my guard because I'm always.
Let me ask you this question then, okay, while we talking, okay? You at the gas station. Okay. And you saw this guy pumping gas, and you was attracted to him. Okay. What would you do to get his attention as a woman? More women. So how do you let him know that you might have an interest in him?
Look at him and speak.
But most folks look at you and speak if they're nice, right?
Again, it's that energy, Vernon. If it's not mutual, it's not going to work anyway. It doesn't matter if I go up to him and say, "Hey."
Yeah, but but you want to let him know that before he get in that car and drive off into the Maryland, you want to let him know he may not even be looking your way. Okay, he may not be looking your way, and you want him to know that you interested in him in some way, shape, or form. How would you get his attention?
I would probably
what would you do? What do most women do?
I would probably go talk to him.
You go up and talk to him?
I probably, if I felt that strongly about it, I would probably go over to him and say, "You know what? I just had to come over here. It is something about you. I just wanted to say hi. I just felt some energy from you. I felt something. I just had to come and speak." And
okay. All right. Now hold your point right there, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now I want you to reverse that situation.
Okay.
Okay. And he came over to you and say the same thing to you. What would your perception be?
Hey.
No, it wouldn't. Get out of here! Just trying to pick me up and all that kind of stuff. Would you give him?
No,
would
it's
you really
happened at the gas station before, Vernon. I don't know why you think I think everybody trying to pick me up. But I do remember one guy, bless his heart, I felt sorry for him. He started talking to me before I even got out the car. And I get out the car to pump my gas. And, he was basically asking me out, what church you go to, told me he was divorced. And I felt it, no, he was a widow. He wasn't divorced. He was a widow.
Good candidate. Okay, but go ahead.
You always say that. But that it wasn't there for me where I wanted to give him my number. It just wasn't there. I'm not going to just give my number to everybody who asks or who's interested. You've got to feel something. It wasn't mutual. And who's to say he doesn't say that to everybody?
Well, that's my whole point. How you filter it?
You will know. Just like they say for the one that you marry, you will know.
Yeah.
I will know. And I told you last week, there is one person that I would consider a very small possibility, very small, because I'm so comfortable being by myself. But I would like to have a conversation with this person. Just a
So why
conversation.
don't you then?
Uh, they're not available. They're
What do you
not
mean?
available.
What do you mean?
And they're in several states away. But if the opportunity, your word, if the opportunity ever presents itself, I probably would say something. I'm not afraid to let somebody know how I care about them. You know, I remember the first time I told you that I loved you, you were like, does she really love me? I tell my friends that mean a lot to me,
But I know,
that
but
are special to me. I tell them how I feel about them. It just doesn't mean anything
but
to me
Lavenda,
to be vulnerable.
that just people say that all the time, and they don't really mean that. They just say that's something to say. It's just like that time I bought
Not
you
for me, Vernon.
remember I bought
Not.
you a card or something one day, and you said, what was that I got you that day? And you thought that, um, I don't know what you thought, but
I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to think because I had never been, and you were showing me how a woman is supposed to be treated. It
yeah,
was a holiday or
right,
something,
yeah,
Vernon. And that's just what you do, you know. And that was when I was going through my transition, and it meant so freaking much to me that you even thought about me to bring me a card and put it on my desk. I didn't think anything about it. It was just that that had never happened to me, Vernon. Never happened to me. Um, isn't it sad? I have never, I don't want folks to feel sorry for me, but I have never been courted. I've never been, and being in the military, being in the Navy, you know, I was always around guys more than I was around females.
yeah,
I was raised by my dad and probably raised to think like a man, and I was probably the son he didn't have, but I felt more comfortable being with men, talk. You know, I was one of the guys.
mm-hmm.
So I was never, I don't know. I'm different, but I'm still a lady. I still got feelings and emotions and stuff. I appear to be hard. I appear to be unapproachable. But that's me. That's my guard. So, like I always say, the right man will know how to get through that boundary.
Mm. All right,
Yeah,
well,
he might be watching now.
all right, maybe so. Maybe y'all can get that spiritual connection, and maybe he'll call you up after the show. Speaking of that, would call me. Uh huh. I know it. All right, Lavendo. You know we done ran out of time already.
Yes, we are out of time already, Vernon. Out of time. Hey, you guys, we come on once a week. You just got to catch us. We usually on Wednesday night, but if you would like to sponsor the show, uh, get in contact with WBQP or get in contact with me if you'd like to sponsor the show. We will share your product. Behind me, I have a Shedrick Studio Art. Just let us know. The price is reasonable. Vernon, you can take care of all of that. I haven't called you, but you can sponsor the show.
Okay. What I got?
But we got to
You
go
gonna
now.
tomorrow night? Cause we had to come on early tonight because we got an event I got to cover tomorrow night. But you can always do
Okay.
simulated that's live. Okay. Replay the show at 8 o'clock on your social media, Lavender, so that folks don't miss it. All right.
Yes, 8 o'clock on social media or YouTube, the Other Woman page, and I share it on my personal page. But uh, we're on WBQP.
Yep. You'll be on
WBQP.
tomorrow night on WBQP at 11 o'clock tomorrow night, and one day on the weekend. I think it's on Saturday evenings. I think we show you on Saturday evening the event on WBQP. All right, we got to get out of here, sugar, because our time is up.
All righty,
We'll
all
see you next
righty.
week, okay? All right,
Okay,
y'all. We'll
bye-bye.
see you next week.